Hello class, this is chapter 5.1b. It is a lesson entitled Finding Unit Rates, and you must have your calculator. A couple of definitions first of all, that a rate is really a type of ratio that compares quantities that are measured in different units. If you remember in the lesson you did for 5.1a, we didn't compare minutes with seconds, we had to compare seconds with seconds. But if we're doing a rate, we will be comparing two different units, such as miles to gallons or feet to seconds. Many of you are familiar, for example, with miles per hour. That is a rate. Now, a unit rate is a rate for one unit of a given quantity. When we talk about miles per hour, we are really talking about the number of miles we can travel or drive in 1 hour. Therefore, that is a unit rate. So if we look at A, we are going to take 52 deliveries in 8 hours. I have a tendency to write down the labels simply because then I'll get them right when I'm going to write my answer in 8 hours. Now, remember it says for 1 unit. Remember how anything that came after the word to or for usually goes toward the denominator or the second term? That means I want that denominator to be a 1. So in this case, I would divide both the numerator 52 and the denominator 8 by 8. Of course, my bottom denominator, or bottom term, or second term as it's sometimes called, will be 1 hour, and 52 divided by 8 will be 6.5. And I will have 6.5 deliveries in 1 hour. Now, sometimes we would write that with a slash. Per hour, or per H. Let's look at B. Now in B, I am going to take the 20 ounces and I'm going to divide by $4.29. I would divide both my first term, or the numerator, or the second term, or the denominator, by $4.29, by 4.29. When you do that, you are going to find out that it doesn't turn out to be a very nice decimal now, does it? Well, I'm going to have to round off. Generally, they will tell me in my directions what to round to. Sometimes they'll say hundredth, sometimes they'll say tenth. In this particular instance, I'm choosing to go to the nearest hundredth, so I'm going to have 4.66 ounces per dollar. And if you want to put a 1 there for $1, that would be all right too. Now C looks as though it should be the exact same thing as B, but they go ahead and they add a different question to it. That changes everything, because what they really want you to do here is to find out the dollars per ounce. So this time I am going to put the 4.29 on the top, or the numerator or the first term position, and the 20 ounces in the second term or denominator position. Now, here again, when you put this into your calculator, you are going to come out with 0.2145. Well, this is money. Money is automatically going to be rounded off to the nearest cent, which means hundredth place. So in this instance, I should change these to approximation signs. I am going to have 0.21 cents, $0.21 per ounce. Now what you don't want to do is write this. Don't do that. You do not have 0.21 cents. That does not say 21 cents. 0.21 cent means 0.21 parts of a penny. In other words, if you cut a penny into 100 parts, you would have 21 of them. You do not have 21 pennies, you only have a part of a penny. When you use decimals, we are going to be using that dollar sign in this particular instance. Let's move on to D. D also has a bit of a wrinkle in the problem because we've got the 3 hours and the 20 minutes, but if you look at what we're trying to find, it only says miles per hour. So I have to convert 20 minutes to an hour. It's going to become a part of an hour. And I'm going to do it by taking 20 over 60, because there's 60 minutes in an hour. That is going to be 1/3. My time here is really 3 1/3 hours. So I am going to take 169 miles, and I'm going to take 3 1/3 hours. Now, this is where you use that fraction key. It's the A slash, I think it's the A, sometimes there's a slash, B/C key. Sometimes, depending on your calculator, it just says A/B/C. Okay, that's your fraction key. Should be on the left side of your number pad on your calculator. We're first going to put in the 169. You're going to hit divide. Then you're going to hit the 3. You're going to press that fraction key. Then you'll put in the third, the 1. Hit that fraction key again. Then hit the 3. And then hit equals. You should end up, it'll say something like this, 50, and then it'll go 7/10. What that really means is 50 7/10 miles per hour. This is going to be a mixed number of 50 7/10. I would really encourage you to try to use that fraction key and learn how to use it, because when you get on into high school, you're probably going to use it quite a bit. So let's try E. Actually, you should hit pause and you should do E. Okay, we are going to take $42, divide by the 3 books. You really shouldn't need a calculator for this, because 42 divided by 3 is really a mental math problem. Okay, it's going to be $14 per book. That slash can mean, is often translated as per. And that concludes Lesson 5.1b. It's Scouting Out.